Hey, if you like watching, discussing, and learning about movies, you're in the right place. Welcome to Kaden's Movie Club, which is kind of like a book club, but for movies. And today we're announcing the theme and lineup for August. We're living in a time where there seems to be a growing demand for original standalone stories. It seems like franchise fatigue might be a very real thing, as some movies that typically would have done well at the box office have not, and original stories have done very well. There seems to be the sentiment that Hollywood has grown too reliant on existing stories and audiences now want something fresh and new. I think the truth is, audiences have always wanted something fresh and new, but they also like to see stories they know continue, and that's why sequels are nothing new. One of our earliest pieces of recognized and popular literature, the Odyssey, is a sequel. By today's standards, maybe we'd call it a spin-off since Odysseus wasn't the main character in the Iliad, but you get the idea. Akira Kurosawa is credited with having the first numbered sequel with 1945's Senshiro Sugata Part 2. But even earlier than that, the 30s was dominated by Hollywood's B-movie era where you could make a new story with recognizable characters for cheap. Universal's monster franchise became an entire shared universe by the 1940s. And in 1974, The Godfather Part 2 was a benchmark movie that convinced Hollywood and audiences that sequels could actually maintain or even surpass the quality of the original. They could be more than cheap cash grabs.
Don't you contact me again, ever. From now on, you deal with Turnbull.
You can have my answer now if you like. My offer is this. Nothing.
Today, it feels like we've reverted back to that more pessimistic outlook. People tend to roll their eyes at the idea of a sequel because studios have tended to make them whether it's warranted or not. So the question we'll be asking this month in Movie Club is, what makes a good sequel? Is there a valid and artistic way to continue telling a story? And our lineup will be Terminator 2, Judgment Day, The Dark Knight, Paddington 2, Blade Runner 2049, and The Empire Strikes Back. And the good news is, if you've been following along in Movie Club, that means you've watched all of the original movies too, so you should be good to go to watch the sequel. And we'll be starting with Terminator 2 Judgment Day, so let me give you a little intro. T2 was released 7 years after the first movie, which had been a relatively modest success. The Terminator was a lean, effective, low-budget action thriller with an interesting sci-fi twist. It presented some engaging ideas about fate and humanity's existential fears about the future. It had a nice arc for its main character, Sarah Connor. All in all, a pretty solid movie. So why is Terminator 2 considered one of the greatest sci-fi action movies of all time, and one of Hollywood's best sequels? Because it takes all of the good elements that were present in the first movie and ramps it up to 11. The idea of fate versus a predetermined outcome isn't just an idea, it's literally worked into the plot with extremely high stakes. The action is bigger, more inventive, more daring. The fears about the future become fully realized. The special effects and overall visual tone of the movie take a huge leap forward. And Sarah Connor's arc as a character isn't just implied anymore, we see her taken to new and interesting places that allow the audience to engage with the story on a deeper level. So here's some questions to keep in mind while you watch. What aspects make the audience feel like this is something new rather than a retread of the same ideas? How does the story raise stakes and maintain tension when the core premise of the characters being hunted by a Terminator remains the same? How does this movie evolve its themes? What questions does it ask that the first one does not? What do you think this movie is saying about our fears of humanity's self-destruction, about nuclear war, about technology, and about how our choices may affect future outcomes? I hope you're excited about the movie lineup this month. I'd love to hear what you think about the theme and if you're looking forward to any of the movies. And I'll see you back here on Sunday to discuss Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And if you want to stay in the know about Movie Club, you know where to go.